Yesterday, the Ukrainian army achieved the next goals of its counteroffensive, and the Ukrainians reached Lysychansk. Fighting has been going on for several years on the outskirts of the city. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked the soldiers for their sacrifice on the battlefield. You have taught your enemies many things, the ability to quickly pack your belongings and escape our land. You helped them understand that by abandoning combat equipment and weapons, it can be done much faster. Many will remember what awaits those who entered Ukraine without permission. The Ukrainian General Staff of the Armed Forces reported that the Russians suffered significant losses after successful actions towards Kherson. An independent brigade of Marines stationed near the city lost almost 85%, and in Novakhovka in the Kherson region, the Ukrainians seized a large warehouse with Russian ammunition. The Russian army donated equipment worth nearly $130 million to the Ukrainian armed forces. During the retreat from the Kharkiv region, they left as much equipment as needed to supply the entire battalion. Defeats at the front. The Russians are trying to make up with attacks on civilian objects. A thermal power plant was hit by fire in Kharkiv. As a result, electricity and water supplies were suspended. Local authorities say the situation is under control and energy supplies have resumed. There were 2 duty officers in the building hit by the missile. We found one who is already dead. The search for the other is underway. Random people are the most likely victims of the war that has been going on for months. Over 8,000 children were injured or missing as a result of the Russian aggression against Ukraine. According to estimates by Ukrainian lawyers, more than 7,000 children have been deported to Russia since the beginning of the conflict. According to the people of Odessa, there is no logic or strategic sense in the Russian attacks. Now we know what to do when we hear anti-aircraft sirens. Children know where to go in the event of an air attack and understand that it is necessary to save a life. In the context of the current events at the front, French President Emmanuel Macron spoke by phone with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Élysée Palace informs that the topic of discussion was the situation in the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. The Russians will not withdraw from the power plant site. It will only happen when the Ukrainians displace them. Soft arguments have so far been unsuccessful. Meanwhile, the sanctions are increasingly weakening the Russian economy. But according to experts, international limitations are a double-edged sword that also affects the Western market. Moscow is threatening that if the EU's policy is continued, Europe may expect a painful response in the coming months, especially in autumn and winter.
First of all, to face the emergency, which means to suspend, in a way, what is the normal dynamics of the market, and to try to lower the cost of energy and other very important materials.
The risk of a serious energy crisis in Poland can be averted thanks to cooperation with Ukraine. We will receive by the end of September 100,000 tons of coal, and in the coming months, electricity will flow to us from Ukrainian power plants. We can expect that the deliveries that flow to us will be able to, in a way, satisfy our needs, but the situation is changing dynamically. Polish-Ukrainian friendship deepened as a result of the dramatic events of recent months. Rapidly developing cooperation is an opportunity for both economies. Poland is considered as the main partner in the post-war reconstruction of Ukraine.